Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at SODO Ride 2 for Kamen Rider Geo. Yes, I'm finally getting to the Kamen Rider Geo SODO sets. I did not buy the first set. At the time, I did not think I was going to be doing SODO this year, and the first set was very much just Geo, Gates, I think build armor, and that actually might have been it. I had all those from the Rider Kick figure series, so I passed on it and I wasn't going to get it. This one I specifically got because of Faiz and Drive, which did not make it into the Rider Kicks figure series. And then the trend kind of continued with a lot of the armors being left out of the RKF line. So that got me firmly back into SODO for this year. But this is the second set, so SODO Ride 2, as you can see there. This is a set that I purchased, which it turns out I guess I should have bought a box instead of a set, because how these are working, you can see there's 4 sets of armor, and then there's a body for Geo and a body for Gates. So unfortunately you cannot make all of these at the same time. I'm really more concerned with these. I don't really, like, again, X8 I have in the RKF line, Ghost I have in the RKF line, so I'm not super worried about those. But I need to find some more Gates bodies. I have a feeling Frozen Stratos will probably be able to help me out in that regard. But here is the box. I'm going to go ahead and open it up so I can show you what all is inside. You can see 6 boxes. So let's go ahead and get these out of here so we can take a closer look as I knock them all over. Knocking them all over. Well done. Alright, so number 1 is the X8 armor. You can see what it entails over here on the side. And this can be worn by either Geo or Gates. They give you a head for both, as you can see there. And then it just shows you the lineup as per usual. Shows how you connect them to the bodies. So that is our first armor. Number 2 is the Ghost armor. Again, gives you a head for both Geo and Gates. This one actually comes with a stand. I think this also came with a stand there. Looks like most of the armors are coming with stands to kind of make up for the fact that there is no body inside. So, and I think that's what this warning says. I think it says you can't actually make the figure with just the contents of this box. I believe that's what it says. Next up we have the Faiz armor, which is the one that I'm very excited about. You can see that that's just a Gates head, because he did not have, I don't think Geo's ever worn this armor. It's just Gates. So that's pretty cool. Number 4, we have the Drive armor. Again, only worn by Gates. I really like this armor. I think it's fun. Still need to get a Drive tribute episode. Still waiting on that. And then here we have a Geo body. And then number 6 is a Gates body. And this is even the older Gates body. They have since made a new Gates body, which incorporates more red, which of course would make sense because it's Gates. But otherwise, these are the bodies that you will pop everything onto. So basically, I will probably end up showing these two because they have possibilities for Geo. I'll probably show them on him. And then since these two are exclusive to Gates, I'll show you those with Gates, but we'll run through it as we go. So let me get these opened up, get all the stickers applied, and then we'll check these out. Alright, finally I have everything put together and stickered up. As you can see, so far I have the X8 armor on the Geo body, and I have the Faiz armor on the Gates body, but you also have a Ghost armor and a Drive armor that are just kind of hanging around. I do appreciate that they give you a stand which can peg most of the armor onto it. The reason the Ghost has so much is because they give you Ghost pieces for both Geo and Gates. With the Drive armor, you just have pieces for Gates, so there's less left hanging off. But I still wish they would make it so that you could peg everything into it, because I feel like that would be a really nice storage option. But at this point, I'm just going to have to get some more body pieces so I can display these armors at the same time, at least for Faiz and Drive, because really happy to have versions of those armors because they didn't show up in the RKF line. But let's take a look quick. I just have Geo pegged into the stand here. So here is, let me show you real quick. This is a second chest piece for Gates. You can tell because this has black around the collar, whereas Geo has silver. And then you have the second head for Gates. And that's one big sticker. And then there's a sticker down here for the mouth. I have to say one thing about these stickers. It's been a minute since I've done a SODO. The build ones weren't bad. The X8 ones, which I think was the birth of the SODO line. I think X8 was the first time they did it. And those stickers are not that great. A lot of times, especially with the ones that like wrap around the ankles or the biceps, the real thin ones, they pop off a lot. But I feel like every year the stickers get a little better as far as like the cohesion. They stick better and they really adhere better. So these stickers I thought were actually pretty good. So here is the X8 armor, which I have to say I think looks really good. You have the two giant Gashikon breaker arms. You have the Gashat shoulder pads. And then you have the sticker for the visor there, which looks really good. So I want to show you how this works. These come off, and it's a little bit easier said than done, but they just unpeg here. They split right down the middle longwise on the cylinder. So you unpeg this, and then you can see that there's another peg which pegs into his fist underneath. So right there, this pegs into his fist, and then these two peg into the other half. Now they do give you this piece here, so if you don't want to like keep the armor on, you can kind of peg this into here. I think this is, oh, you know what? No, you peg it into here, and then you peg this back on here, and then you're going to peg the other one into here, and it's kind of just like a little storage system. So let me get this one off real quick. All right, there we go. So now you take this, and this one pegs on to the little peg that had the wood pegged into the fist. And then you can close this back up. And then it's just kind of like a nice way to keep them together, to store them. I don't think this pegs in. Oh, okay, it will. It will peg in. So there you go. You can peg those onto the side, which I really appreciate. I like that quite a bit. So the next thing you're going to do is, every one of these armors has these little shin guards. Or I guess thigh guards. I guess they're thighs. I know human anatomy. Anyway. So these just unpeg. These are very simple. So they, and again, I wish these had somewhere to peg onto here, because I really feel like these would be what gets lost the most. Will these fit? I think these are just a little too tight. Well, that one will peg in there. Let's see, can I... Alright, I was wrong. See, I swear I tested all this. But anyway, so those will peg into the side, so that's good. That's a little bit of storage for that. Then you can take the shoulder pads off. And they're a little tight, I have to admit, so be a little careful. I was having a little bit of difficulty getting them off earlier. But there we go. So we take the shoulder pads off. And then you can see that they do have little spots here to put these on here. So they just store on there. So as you can see, most of this stuff will store, which is nice. If you have an armor set that has, like normally you could put the head and the chest plate on here as well, but because you have one for Gates and for Geo, I'm not going to be able to fit both. So that's a bit of a bummer. But if you have one like Drive, where you don't have one for both, you would be able to store everything. So now you're going to pop the head off, and then you're going to take out the chest plate. Come along. There we go. Okay, so this is the body that you're left with. This is the like standalone Geo body. And it's got some stickers of its own. Got some bicep stickers, got some sticker gray in the chest. And then you have to put on the watches. The watches are very tiny, but they do have some watch stickers in there. Got the bike sticker, even though he never uses that ride watch ever. And if you're buying just the body, it does come with like a light head. I think this is actually the Gates one, which you would think it would be opposite. So the Geo head is black and the Gates is silver. That should have been backwards. But in any case, they give you these just kind of like placeholder heads in case you just have the body. I don't know in what universe you'd ever want to display it with these heads, but just so I guess if a kid gets just one box and he doesn't have the other head, it won't look ridiculous. And you also get some extra hands, some open hands. And it's funny, both Gates and Geo come with black hands. Even though, if you'll notice, the Gates body has silver hands for the fist hold hands, like to hold items. But the open hands are black for both. So that's another weird one. Yeah, so there's that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the ghost armor on this guy right now. Alright, so there you go. I just went ahead and put it on so you don't have to watch me attach everything. But basically, you just pop the shoulder pads onto the same pegs. You peg the new chest plate in, and you peg the new thigh pieces in. Or, not thigh, yeah, thigh pieces. Okay, I'm confusing myself. Anyway, and it looks good. I like it. I love the blue sticker on the horn for whatever reason. I just think that makes it look really sharp. Pop makes it pop. And I've always liked the black and orange of Ghost's color scheme, so I think that's pretty cool. I guess I never really did articulation, but it's pretty standard for SODO figures. You have the head on a ball joint. Shoulder can go like this, out to the side. You have a bicep swivel, 90 degrees. Actually, technically 180 degrees because it can bend backwards. And then the fists are just pegs, so you can take them out. You have a movement here in the waist, ball joint in the hip, as well as a thigh swivel. 90 degrees in the knee, and then a ball joint for the ankle. So pretty standard SODO articulation, but I think it works. I think it's nice. A lot of these have extra pieces and things, but like this one's pretty basic. It's just the thigh pieces, the chest plate, and the shoulder. But it looks good. I've always thought Ghost looks a little better on Gates just because it's more black. The silver just kind of doesn't mesh as well with Ghost's overall color scheme. This also gives you the Oh No, which is the axe form of Gates' weapon. So I think that's pretty cool. That is included there as well. And then again, like I said, you have the Gates version of the Ghost armor, and then the Gates chest plate. So very neat there. But yeah, so that's going to be it for Geo, I think. I'm going to put him back here for now, and we'll take a look at Gates and the Faiz armor. So I love the Faiz armor. I think it looks good. I think the ridiculous cell phone shoulder pads are great. I love it. The stickers all look good. Now this is the old Gates body. They've since done a newer Gates body, which is actually molded out of red. It looks a lot better. But it is what it is. I still think this looks pretty good. But really the only red, you have to put these like upper thigh pieces on. Those are stickers. And then you have a little bit of red back here in the head. That's really it. Everything else is either black or silver. And you can see here that he has kind of a new shin piece. You just pop off the old shin piece. It's very simple. It's just one peg you can see there. You pull that out. You pop the new one in. You're good to go. And he does come with the Faiz accessories. He's got the Faiz phone gun there. Looking pretty good. So I think he looks great. I really love this armor. I'm going to go ahead, and so you don't have to watch me do this in real time. I'm going to take the Faiz armor off, and then we'll check out the drive armor. Alright, so here is Gates in the drive armor, looking very sharp. And a couple things I wanted to mention real quick. So here is the Faiz armor, and I could get everything to peg onto the stand, except for the new shin piece. So that's pretty good. And the reason I was having trouble with these, because like I swear I tested it earlier, and this is something I just noticed, which is actually really cool. The peg hole on the back of these is 2 different sizes. And they do that so that you can't peg them into the body wrong. So that's nice. You always know that you're putting them in the correct spot. Because of that, you just have to find the right, these are all different size holes. So you just have to make sure you find the right one to peg it into, and that's why it was giving me trouble before. So I'm not crazy. They're 2 different size peg holes. So everything but this, and you can just kind of sit that on there, which is kind of nice. Most of the Faiz armor is contained in one area. But here is Drive. I love Drive. He is looking awesome. This is some great armor. And another thing I want to show off, you can see he's got the shift cars in the brace here. This is actually a completely new fist piece. So you take the old fist piece out, and then this is one solid piece that you just peg into the new fist piece, and it looks fantastic. So I'm loving that. I think they did a great job with Drive. And now you have the stand. Unfortunately, I couldn't peg the 2 fists in, so I'll have to figure that out. But you can go ahead and peg it into the back, or you can peg him into the peg there on the front. Either way, he looks great. So I'm super psyched about that. He also comes with the gun mode for the Jikan Grenade. So I can go ahead, I'll give this to Geo, since he can hold things now that he doesn't have 2 giant hammer hands. So pretty cool. So I'm liking these a lot. Like I said, I didn't buy the first set because it was mostly just Geo and build. Now I'm thinking I probably should have, but it's all right. I can live without it because I really am just concerned with... Here, I'll give him the X since he can hold that now. But yeah, I'm really excited with these. I think they're great. Like, the sticker application is a little bit of a pain in the butt. It does take a while, but I think with what you're left with, it's pretty good. I think it really does look good. Switching the armor is not too much of a pain, which I was a little worried about, so I really appreciate that. But otherwise, I think these are great. I'm really concerned with forms that didn't show up in RKF, so those are the sets that... I mean, I pretty much got every set from 2 onward, but that's why I kind of initially passed on 1, because it was just Geo, Gates, and the build armor, and I was like, hey. Plus, I think I had build fatigue at that point. I love build, don't get me wrong, but it was just to go from the whole series of builds straight into the build arc, like, right away. I feel like they could have revisited it a little bit later, but that's a discussion for another time. In any case, I definitely recommend picking up this set. The Faiz armor, the Drive armor, both great, both exclusive to SODO because it didn't make it into the RKF line. X8 armor and Ghost armor both also look great, but you could get them in RKF, so this was kind of my second time seeing those forms in physical form. But they still look great here, and the sticker application, while a little tedious, is really nice when you're all said and done. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.